So, I want to share some thoughts I've been having in these last 2 weeks about how my monastic life here and how my robes and how my training and how these things have helped me to learn to let go a little bit more of my attachment to people. And I've been able to do this. I've had the opportunity to learn this more here at the Abbey than I have in my lay life. And that's because in my lay life, I knew a few people, who I was close to, they would come and go from my life, but it was in a much slower, more gradual way, versus being at the Abbey, where people are constantly coming and going and coming and going and coming and going, and they're not just strangers too, like they're people that you meet and connect with. So they're two very different ways of life, and just living here has helped to highlight change and impermanence in a way that my lay life environment did not highlight. And I also see how being in robes and having precepts has heightened my mindfulness practice in a very good way, because there have been people who have come here who I felt a very strong connection with, who I became attached to. One lay guest and one monastic guest. And I felt connected to them. Maybe it was karma, but it was also because they had some very good qualities that I really aspired to, become myself. And it just seemed like they really embodied these qualities. And, they also kind of met some of my core needs. Not all the time, but but when I followed my attachment to these people a little bit, it didn't feel very good inside. With one person in particular, I was told, like, okay, you really like this person, don't talk to them at all. Like, don't go near them, and like, that's super contradictory to do, because everything is screaming in me, I want to talk to this person. But because of my monastic lifestyle, my robes, my precepts, the guidelines at the Abbey, it's like, that's not really appropriate to do, with this specific person, these specific people. And when I did follow this attachment a little bit, when I chose to talk to this person some more, or when I chose to try and hang out with them a little bit more, I definitely felt my sense of integrity plummet a little bit, and some self-esteem kind of went down too, because this behavior doesn't align with my monastic values or what I'm striving towards. It's kind of digging me deeper into samsara. But again, my precepts, what I find so helpful about my precepts is that, they really protect me from getting too emotionally and too physically close to people in an unhealthy way. And I'm not used to doing that. That's not what I did in my lay life. But it's been super powerful for me. Sometimes I think about how, particularly one of my precepts around physical contact in one of my root trainings, I think about how those precepts have the power to save me from experiencing potentially decades of following attachment. And one example I think of is, like, if I didn't have my monastic precepts around this, I might just see somebody who I really like, just some random ordinary person, like myself, and I would just get with them, like, no big deal, this is fun. And then, years with them. I would spend years with them. It's like, oh yeah, whatever, it's just a few years. And then, you get married, like you marry this person, and then you're married for like 20, 30, 40, like unsatisfying years. And then you know, and then you get divorced. Like there's so many cases of people doing this. And then it's like, wow, what was that? Like, what did I just do? Like, that's a huge chunk of my precious human life. And I mean, yeah, and just one moment of following attachment can lead to many moments of following attachment, which can lead to decades of following attachment. I mean, and that's like what my precepts do for me. They save me, they protect me from doing that all over again. And that's super powerful. I think that's incredible that the Buddha, I mean, it's so wise and so skillful of the Buddha to set it up in such a way where it's like, if you break this one precept, that's it. Like, your ordination's over. Like, that's like all the benefits of the renunciate life are over. All the benefits of the precepts are over. The fast track to full awakening is over just because of breaking one precept around particularly like physical contact. And I mean, that's such a good incentive for me. I love that. Like, that is just amazing because it's just so clear. It's so not worth it. It's so not worth breaking this root precept for some pleasure so that I renounce this incredible way of life. I'm grateful that the Buddha set it up like that. And when these guests were here, it's like, okay, yeah, I did want to talk to them. Like, no matter how much I wanted their email, no matter how much I wanted their phone number, their WhatsApp number, no matter how much I wanted to message them and write them, or before they leave, like write a little note on their table and be like, you're so great, thank you so much. Or no matter how much I want to stalk them on social media, it's like, it's like I don't do that. I don't do that here. I don't do that at the Abbey. We don't really do that here anymore. And that's a good thing. That's a really, really good thing. It's super contradictory for me, and it's a challenge, but I'm so much happier not doing that because, again, that's following attachment, which just leads to what I like to call dead-end happiness. It's dead-end happiness. And yeah, and it's also important to me or it's becoming more important to me to do my best to maintain a good visual because I was so moved when I met a monastic with amazing ethical conduct. Just for the first time seeing them, I was just so moved by that. So, yeah, it's important for me to try to not go crazy with my attachment with these guests that come, because I reflected on my behavior when I did that, and I felt kind of embarrassed, and I had this worry, like, oh no, like, did they notice that? Did they see that? Was that inappropriate? Did they feel weird? Like, was their faith affected? So again, that's why wearing these is such a good thing and having my precepts. So yeah, anyway, that's just what I wanted to share. So